Hey dancers, welcome back to our channel. I'm Julie and I'm the owner and one of the ballet instructors here at Broche Ballet, an adult ballet school in Denver, Colorado. Today I want to talk about jumping and how to point your feet during your jumps. This is a question that we get a lot. It makes your petit allegro look much nicer when you point your feet. It makes your grande allegro look gorgeous when you point your feet, but how do you do it? Let's head over to the bar. If you're at home, make sure you find something nice and sturdy to hold on to, whether that's your kitchen counter or something like that, but something that's gonna be able to hold your weight a little bit comfortably and nice and sturdy. All right, so I want to talk about a few things here at the bar. The first thing is that in order to actually point your feet when you jump off the ground, you want to think about your feet, your toes being what pushes you off the ground, not leaving the ground and then trying to point your toes afterwards. It's really important to get the order of this right. So if you leave the ground and then you try to point your toes, it's never going to actually be pointed for the entire time. So you have to make sure that the action of pointing your toes is actually what gets you off the ground. So for example, if I jump without my toes, I don't really go that high, but as soon as I add my toes in, I can go a lot higher. So that action of flicking the toes, I'll show you that action here. It's from your ankle pointed and flicking the toes. It's this motion right here that really gives you that extra little oomph and a little bit of brilliance in your jump. So you want to feel like this motion is what actually pushes you off the ground. Not that you get off the ground and then try to point your foot in a reaction to getting off the ground. So that's the first really important concept to think about. Now let's talk about how you actually do this. Well, first of all, you have to get your feet and your toes strong enough to actually lift your entire body weight off the ground. This is pretty challenging because toes don't normally have to lift your whole body weight off the ground all by themselves. So we have a video on our channel about how to strengthen your feet. Make sure you go check that one out. I'm also going to show you a few more exercises though that are really specific to jumping that are going to help you with this. So you're going to start in first position. You're going to releve up. Then you're going to keep your weight nice and squarely on both your feet. Then you're going to push with your toes. You're going to push off with your toes and point your foot. You don't want to move your weight and then point your toes. That's the equivalent of jumping and then trying to point your toes afterwards. You want to feel your weight on your foot, and then as you point your foot, it moves your weight and back down. So point your foot in order to move your weight. You're really peeling those toes off the ground. This is a lot of work. If it's a little bit challenging for you right now, go back, do some work with the TheraBands from our other video, get your feet stronger, and then come back and try this one in a little bit. So you're really pushing off with your toes. This is gonna be the same motion when we start jumping. So to feel that from a jump, the second thing you're gonna work on is you can try this one at a time. You're gonna go through your half point and flick your toes off the ground. So here you've got your weight on that foot and then use your toes to push your leg off the ground. Don't go here and then just lift. I know your quads can lift your leg. Everyone's quads can lift their leg. The goal here is to get your toes to be what lift your leg. So push with your toes, push with those little feet to get your leg up off the ground. You can try the other side, push with those toes. Push, push, all the way through that. Feel you rolling through the feet, articulating. Ankle points, toes point. Toes relax, ankle relaxes. So you're feeling all four parts of that nice point there. When you're ready to put this into action, this is where you need that sturdy thing to hold on to support your weight. You're gonna plie down and you're gonna try to feel this nice push with your toes. You're gonna peel your toes off the ground and have that be what pushes you up into the air. Feel free to take as much weight as you want on the bar. Take all your weight off the ground, doesn't matter. All you wanna do is be able to feel this in your body. So really take your weight on the bar, get your elbows up there if you need to, use your arms to support you while your feet are getting strong enough to understand this concept. And you're gonna push as hard as you can. Push. See how much my arms are doing? My arms are doing so much work. My legs are doing very little. I really want my toes to have a chance to do this. If you don't support with your arms, it's always going to be in your legs because your toes aren't strong enough yet. So while you're still gaining that strength, you really want to make sure you can support your body so your toes have a fighting shot and don't just always allow the bigger muscles to take over. The last thing to think about with your jumps is really engaging your turnout. So your turnout muscles are really going to help get you up off the ground. So it's your turnout muscles combined with your toes that are really going to push you high off the ground. Make sure that as you do your plie, you're not really letting your hips tip out. From here, it's really going to go into your quads and your toes are going to have a tough time keeping up. So make sure you've got your hips tucked under nice and tight and you're really using this wrapping motion of your legs so that as you take off and land, this is really supporting you and really helping you push off. Check out our video on how to strengthen your turnout muscles if you need some more love there. The last thing I want to talk about is really doing repeated jumps. So what's really important to think about if you're doing lots of jumps, for example, petit allegro or sautés, your little warm-up jumps that you might do before you start jumping in the center, something like this. You might do a few of these in a row. The thing to think about with this is that the landing of one is the takeoff of the next. So your landing has to be really top notch because it has to propel you off the ground again for your next jump. So your landing is just as important as your takeoff. A bad landing, gonna be a bad takeoff. You think about landing as the easy part, but landing is actually pretty hard. Landing a plane, landing safely, it's always very hard. So focus on your landing. Lifting up to lower. Don't let those hips stick out. Really lift up in your lower abs. Feel those hips tucking up and under as you're up in the air on your way down to the ground. Make sure that landing is really, really nice. The last thing to think about with your landing is that your feet relax. If you start here with really tense feet, really tight Achilles, if you start with your heels lifted up off the ground, then you are gonna have a really tough time pushing with your toes. From here, you're probably just gonna end up jumping just straight up off the ground and your toes can't really help. You need to come all the way down to your plie. Let your foot relax when you land. Let it relax so that it can push off again on the ground. Every time you come down, it has to come all the way down so that you can push and peel through those toes every single time. That's all for today, dancers. I hope this helps you point your feet in your jumps and get super cute little petite allegro jumps. Let me know in the comments below if this helped or if you're still having trouble pointing your toes. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time.